Then, those who were concerned about the public good and public safety again, long after thousands of cars had already been sold, they made the case for speedometers because they realized that everyone now was driving as fast as he wanted without even being aware of how fast he was driving. And this, of course, was not in the public good either. There needed to be standards. That's why we had the NTRC. That's why we have the ECTEL in telecoms. There needed to be standards, and there needed to be a certain degree of self-management throughout the society at last, hence the introduction of the speedometer. I am making these specific references tonight to highlight and emphasize the importance of thinkers, the importance of visionaries in any society in which there is rapid technological change. And I am saying this because I know that this region is filled with outstanding minds that will work together to ensure that people of this region get the very best and work at the same time to resist any of the downsides associated with rapid technological change. One last example that highlights the importance of vision to the well-being of a technologically advanced society I want to refer to. In the early 20th century, those who were concerned about the public good and public safety, 70 years after the first mass-produced automobile, and after millions of them had been sold, once again stepped forward to make the case for seatbelts because they realized the permitting highway deaths and maimings to continue to mount was simply not acceptable in a humane and in a civilized society. These then, ladies and gentlemen, are just some of the ways in which those concerned about protecting the public good, while welcoming positive and impressive technological advances, remained alert to any threat to social order, social progress, societal health, and stability, and so they acted accordingly. Today, we know there are those who are determined to use modern telecoms to undermine and destabilize the societies that we, throughout the Caribbean, and people throughout the world have been diligently trying to build. The challenge to us all then, even as we hail the tremendous positive opportunities made possible by the advances in telecoms, is to think and to talk and exchange ideas with each other as to how both here and abroad societies might best protect themselves in a democratic and socially acceptable manner from those who would wish to use the marvels of telecoms to undermine good and stable societies. That's why today we are debating in St. Kitts and Nevis and in the Caribbean the need to ensure that there is appropriate telecommunications legislation that would allow those who are fighting crime to have access to that which has been documented through telecommunications, conversations, etc., in our aim to stamp out crime where this tool or this piece of equipment has been used. ECTEL was established, we will remember, because the signatory governments were desirous of creating a competitive environment for telecoms in our region. We wanted, of course, the benefits of universal telecommunication services to be realized by the people of this region. We were ever determined to provide affordability, to ensure that there was modern, efficient, and competitive telecom services to the people of this region. We believed very firmly then and now that a harmonized and coordinated approach within the region was key. And we were convinced that a liberalized and competitive telecom sector was essential for the economic and social development of all of our people. And this, our emphasis on the economic and social development of our people, must be in the final analysis the be-all and end-all of all that we do in government. And it must be also be the all and also the end-all of all that ECTEL does in this region as well. With those broader societal observations as a backdrop, permit me now to say a few words that focus on the real reason that we are here this evening, and that is to officially launch the Universal Service Fund here in St. Kitts and Nevis. This ceremony is therefore very significant. It is significant not only to the National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission, the NTRC, but also to my government, as it signals the creation of a new facility to promote the expansion of telecom services throughout our federation. The Universal Service Fund. It is a facility that you've heard that will fund the extension of telecom services to geographic areas that may not be financially attractive to telecoms providers. This fund then will ensure a more equitable distribution of telecom services throughout our Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And this, of course, is only fair. We certainly do not wish to have any segment of this federation feeling in any way, as we would say, left behind or left out. And now, because of this fund, there will be no need for any area in this country to feel that way. I'm therefore very pleased to be able to state that the NTRC will undertake the analysis that is needed to identify those sectors of society that are in need of services. Relevant projects will be developed and implemented. And I do urge the Federation's telecoms providers who already have important insights in the areas of need to work much more closely with the NTRC in this regard. I also urge government agencies and non-governmental agencies to position themselves in order to propose project ideas to the NTRC. Perhaps I should take the time here to explain that the Universal Service Fund will function under established guidelines and regulations. These, the NTRC, shall be more than pleased to make available to the public, since stakeholder confidence in the operation of the fund is of utmost importance to us all. The establishment of the fund at this time, it is very, very important. Telecoms and information technology, ICT, after all, do play a very pivotal role in all modern economies, including that of St. Kitts and Nevis. And although this sector has been affected somewhat by the global economic crisis, it nonetheless continues to make a very sizable contribution to our own local domestic GDP. The sector, for example, it accounted for some 10% of our GDP back in 2008, with the dollar value of telecommunications revenues being some EC $120 million. Also back in 2008, there was growth in both mobile and internet penetration, with the former, that is mobile, reaching, as you've heard from both the minister and the representative from ECTEL, this reaching in St. Kitts and Nevis 148%, and the latter moving upwards to 25%. This is unacceptable, the 25%. Though it has moved upwards, we are not accepting it at all. There is insufficiency in this regard. And tonight I want to emphasize the pledge of my government that internet access must become a human right for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis.